All right, the next one is going to be Algorand.
Man, Jonathan's giving away all of the special treatment I give him.
You know what, though? This is just to prove a point.
Oh, no, I know. I'm just messing with you.
It is special treatment because you're not going to get this calls from anyone on the internet. You're going to have to buy their course.
Coming soon?
Yes, but you're going to buy a course.
I'm joking.
All we're going to tell you is to do, buy low and sell high.
True.
All right, so the next one on the list is going to be Algorand. Make sure that you take notes of these coins. Anyways, the next live technical analysis we have right now for you is going to be Algorand. ALGO. Let me hand it over to Crypto Poppy.
All right. We have ALGO paired with the US dollar. Weekly time frame data is coming in from Coinbase. And JJ, he's nice. He's giving you guys all the plays that I'm giving to him, that I give to him, my man. We have it listed June 17th, 2019. So ALGO's been around for quite some time, and you could see instantly when it was listed, it just tanked down. Tanked. It tried to make a little bounce. Nope. Tanked right back down. Told you, see you later. Another little bounce. Tanked back down. Nope. Came back up. Tanked down. Nice little run up. We were going bouncing around here for quite some time. Made a beautiful run up to just about $3, which is our one movement of the Fibonacci back in late 2021, before tanking back down to the downside, retracing all of those gains, and then going sideways for years. So do I need to do technical analysis based on what we just said about Dash? Look at the movement. We have a huge movement, almost $3, and we're at 11 cents currently. You could say, yeah, say 11 cents. 11 cents currently. So we're at pretty much all-time lows for the token, right? We're at all-time lows for ALGO, at least when it comes to the Coinbase chart. So what do we do at all-time lows? We buy, not financial advice. All-time lows are buying opportunities. So we could just jump right into it. Current price, which we really can't go down too much further, to the 236 level. 600% movement to the upside.
Wow.
595% movement to the upside. So beautiful movement to the upside. And that's not even, I have to adjust the chart. That won't even be a slowdown spot when it comes to Fibonacci wise. We have our blue horizontal ray, 1,172% movement to the upside. We have our 618 fib level at $1.77, 1,475% movement to the upside. So just look at that for a second. Is it unrealistic? Of course not. Just look at it on the chart. Who's to say we just can't start making a nice movement to the upside, getting a little rejection, retesting that as support before pulling up to the upside? And I mean, this could happen in the span of a couple months with cryptocurrency and ALGO specifically. You see how quick it moves, how fast and volatile it could be to the upside and to the downside. So again, amazing buying opportunities for ALGO, huge upside potential. This is a receipt right here. Hopefully Jonathan does some editing, get us an ALGO video out so he could go back to it in the future and say, hey, here's our receipt. Here's ALGO. Not financial advice. Huge upside potential with ALGO. You saw that almost 1,500% movement to the upside. Very minimal downside. We really can't do technical analysis on that because we're at pretty much all-time lows. So things look great for ALGO. The call has been made to the close friend group. Buys have been placed. Buy limits are in place. Sell limits are in place. So let the market come to you. Enjoy it. ALGO is a beautiful setup. And I'm sure the next token I'm going to cover is another one that I've shared with this close friend group. So again, not financial advice, but that's it for ALGO.
We're giving you guys the sauce.
True.
It's up to you what you do with that. Anyways, that was Algorand. Pretty good setup, like Dr. Bobby said. When do you want to buy something, an investment, right? Do you want to buy it at its highest price or its lowest price? It's at its lowest price, so that's when you buy. And, you know, I'm a realtor myself, so I'm not going to go show you the most expensive house. But I'll show you one in a good neighborhood that need some work, that might have a lot of potential and profit for the future. So that's kind of how you got to look at crypto. Buy low, sell high. Any other investments, and you want to flip cars, you want to buy them cheap and sell them higher.
True.
That's just the market. Simple as it gets. Anyways, that was that for Algorand. The next one in the charge is going to be, let's see. Oh, you know this one. Another classic, Ethereum Classic.
Oh, my goodness. My man gives all the plays. I love it.
All the plays. You know, it's not like we have 100,000 people watching right now.
True. That's
hey,
awesome.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good for the record.
You've got to get on ChatGPT and figure out how to run that Discord, because we could put this stuff in there too.
Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna start loading stuff on Discord now because I've been behind it. And we'll probably gonna be sharing it on X because that's where the crypto people are at.
True.
But anyways, all right, I'm gonna hand it over to Crypto Poppy. We're gonna do live technical analysis on Ethereum Classic.
All right. So my final one that I gave to the friend group, we have Ethereum Classic paired with the US dollar. Weekly time frame data is coming in from Coinbase. I just want to take a sneak peek when it was listed on Coinbase, roughly July 18th, 2016. So it's been on Coinbase for quite some time, just about 10 years. Another 6 months will be about 10 years. It's been on Coinbase. So awesome. Kudos to you, ETC. So just zoomed out, looked at Ethereum Classic. We have our listing. We have it going crazy. About a year after its listing, pulled back, nice pump up to the upside before coming down, retracing all of that. Went sideways and consolidated just like everything else did from that 2018 to about 2020 time frame before going absolutely crazy, going to the moon, roughly from, let's say right here, roughly from $5.30 up to, Jesus Christ, from $5 to $175. That's insane. That's baffling. That's mind-blowing. So here we have a couple blue horizontal rays plotted at $75.06, another one at $56.22, which just correlate with some candle bodies and some wicks, and where we could potentially have some take profits in the future. Not financial advice. But here you could see we're at $12.68 currently, which is sitting on some support here from June 27, 2022. Again here, June 12th, 2023, and August 14th, 2023. We also have it from back here from 2017, 2018. So we're on some strong support. But unlike the couple tokens we just covered, we're not at our all-time lows. We could still fall down to these levels here, which would be about 42, all the way down to about 67% movement to the downside. But with that downside comes the upside. So let's take a look at where potentially one would have a take profit on ETC, not financial advice. 323% movement to the upside and 460% movement to the upside. And that's not unrealistic. That's not crazy movement for Ethereum Classic, because we could start going back up to $175,000. But again, we need these levels to come through. We need to hold up at these support levels and not drop that, 60% movement to the downside. We need to start moving up to the upside, getting some excitement back in this market, get some money flowing into these smaller cap altcoins. And you could see here, maybe roughly take about 10%, take about 15% off the table and potentially reinvest if and when we come back down to the downside. But you still have 75% of your overall holdings to go for that moonshot, to go break our previous all-time highs at 175 and start chasing potentially $300 and beyond when it comes to ETC. So these, hopefully you guys will see posted on Discord, because we don't have to necessarily give all of the not financial advice for every sentence we're saying. So ETC looks great. We're close to its all-time lows, but again, we could still drop that 40 to 60% to the downside before putting in one of those 300 to 500% movements to the upside. So that's it for ETC. Look for JJ to get on that Discord, the Buttersmooth Discord, and we could throw these in there.
So that's gonna be in the, as you see that banner below, I'm gonna put it up there once we have it. As soon as I start making all these videos, I'm gonna throw them in the Discord. I'm gonna put them on X. I finally got the blue check mark on there, so I'm gonna be uploading longer videos there as well. Just sharing the content all around, so you know we keep this thing moving. Especially right now when the market is kind of on a hold, so we're set up for the bull run already. But anyways, that was that for Ethereum Classic. Like I said, that was a classic. Another one that used to be Crypto Poppy's favorite, AMP. The reason the numbers look good on not currently, but the equation that Crypto Poppy did on AMP, it was very similar to XRP. The amount of tokens that it has, the circulating supply. If AMP is about to do something, hopefully something like what XRP did, because that was crazy, and that will be a beautiful move for AMP. So, all right, I'm gonna hand it over to Crypto Poppy. We're gonna be doing live technical analysis on AMP.
So let's start off. We have AMP paired with the US dollar. Weekly time frame data is coming in from Coinbase. So this is going to be an extremely short one because just look at the chart here, right? We've come back, we've come down, we've pumped up a little bit, we've come down, we've broken a trend line. We've been stuck below the trend line. We came up to the trend line, were rejected, came up to it, finally broke above it, finally broke some levels of the horizontal array, but we couldn't close above it. So we've retraced back down, came back down to our red box of support, which flipped it to resistance. We retested it as resistance. We were dropped back down. The trend line didn't hold up. We broke above it. We went sideways for a couple months. We made a movement back up to the upside. We were rejected right back down, tried to make a couple more attempts to come back up to the upside. We were straight rejected back down, broke below the red box of support, broke below the trend line, came down, and we've been moving sideways and to the downside ever since. And it looks like we're about to touch our one movement of our Fibonacci level. So that's why I'm saying AMP is going to be short and to the short and sweet and to the point, is because we really don't have much space to go down much further. I mean, we definitely could percentage-wise come down a lot further, but just look-wise on the chart, we really can't come down much further before we go into the negatives. So we could just look at movements to the upside. We could get our measuring tool. So again, as long as, you know, we have an alt season and AMP is a part of it, and we start moving to the upside, we need to get back above the 0.003 level, which, just to reference XRP, that's about a 50% movement to the upside. Then that wouldn't even be doing anything to AMP, to be honest with you. We have our green horizontal ray, which we've plotted in previous lives, which is at 0.0065, which is 228% movement to the upside. We have the bottom of our red box of resistance, which is 292% movement to the upside. We have the top of that red box, 311% movement to the upside. And we have our trend line, which is about 382% movement to the upside. And take a look at that, where that price would take us, not even to a penny. So from current price to shy of a penny is 382% movement to the upside. So I don't want to say minimal movement to the downside, because there is plenty of movement percentage-wise to the downside. Not financial advice. This is amazing buying opportunity. When you're extremely low like this and you could catch a 400% movement to the upside, just catch that wave, ride that wave, but know when to get off of it. Know when to, you know, take your profit. 400% movement to the upside is beautiful. And AMP could go a lot higher and a lot further than that. Look at that. Almost 3 cents right here. I don't even know that it's pointless to get out the measuring tool right now, because until we break that 50% movement to our blue horizontal ray that was plotted from back here in the end of 2022, and we just, you know, it just correlates a lot with candle bodies and wicks and support and resistance. So till we make that 50% movement with AMP, I mean, there's no need to get excessively excited because, we've been here before until we start breaking above a penny, which I would definitely say, not financial advice, but take some profit. If you get some buys in here, take some profits right shy of a penny, because look how quickly these movements come in. These are just wicks, not even candle bodies. So quick movements to the upside. But again, we have just this small area right here is about a 50% movement. And that won't even get much excitement around the AMP token besides through us and the AMP community. So not much to say with AMP. We do have minimal downside to the, to the downside, excuse me. And then we do have a lot of upside potential. But again, are we going to come up and make that 50% movement and retrace it completely and go back down about another 20% from where we are right now before just recycling the same movements? Recycling. You could even call this huge movement, right? Because this high came back down. We just about retraced all of those gains. Before it came up, we didn't even break those previous highs before coming back down, retracing all of those gains. We're just recycling it. And who's benefiting from this besides potentially bots? You know what I mean? Unless you're actively taking profit, putting those profits back into the downside to take profits just shy of a penny. You know what I mean? Just leave some on the table, but definitely know when to take some profit. So definitely AMP looks primed to move to the upside, but I'm not sold till we make this 50% movement. Then we start approaching a penny and breaking and closing above a penny level.
All right, so that was AMP. It's not looking great at the moment. But
it could look worse though.
Yeah, it could look way worse than that. But as Crypto Poppy said, when that thing moves, in the last couple of times that it did move, it was a good movement. I mean, it looked good on it looked good on the goddamn wallet.
True.
But of course, a lot of people didn't take profit, and that's usually what happens, right? We're expecting a bigger movement on that. But you live and you learn in the crypto market,
right?
As long as you don't sell at a loss, you haven't lost yet. And I think if altcoins start going up, AMP starts hitting 1 penny, I think that's the next fire that's gonna lit that just that big explosion on AMP, because last time it was about 1 penny, X was going crazy.
Right.
It was trending on X, so I think that's the kind of the catalyst it needs, because I guess we're not the best at advertising our coin in the AMP community like other communities are. They're pushing that like crack cocaine on the streets. Like everybody's like hearing, buy this coin, like it's crazy. And we don't really do a lot of that. Like, I mean, we share. Like I see an AMP post, I share it. A lot of people do the same thing, repost it. But I guess we just need to do more footwork on that. But anyways, AMP is looking like AMP.
Right.
Until it does something else, then we'll get back on that on hopefully the next slide we get some movement on AMP. But anyways, that was that for AMP. We're gonna be doing live technical analysis on XRP, the people's favorite at the moment. Let me hand it over to Crypto Poppy.
All right. So we have XRP paired with the US dollar. Weekly time frame data is coming in from Bitfinex. So you could see last time we did technical analysis on XRP. We plotted the trend line, which also lines up with our swing low of our current Fibonacci from April 14th, 2025. Second touch point is here, which is June 16th, 2025. And we just extended that out to the right. And as you can see, that's a super aggressive trend line to the upside. And obviously, it's a little impossible to continue that, to expect that trajectory, even with XRP. But anything's definitely possible. You could see here, we made that movement. We came up to make our one movement with XRP at, what was that at? $3.66, Jesus Christ, before coming back down to our 618 level, coming back up to the 786 level, again, testing the 618 as support before melting through it. We were caught on the trend line. We stayed on it for quite some time before we broke below it, and we came down to our 236. But now with XRP, we're losing our 236. We've lost it. And now if and when we start to curl up to the upside, that 236 will act as a little bit of resistance. Our trend line overhead will act as resistance. The 618 will act as resistance, so on and so forth. And you remember when that wick occurred, that crazy flash crash to the downside took us XRP below $1 for just a moment. So XRP, a little hard to do technical analysis on just because of how volatile it is on the way up and on the way down. We're not really making any formations currently. We're just looking to start coming back up to the upside, so we could literally just jump right into our measuring tool from current price, roughly current price, to the 236, where we will catch a little bit of resistance, is about 10% movement to the upside. We have our trend line lining up with our 618 fib level, which would be about 49% movement to the upside. So XRP needs to come up about 49%, make a 49% movement to the upside before we could expect any big momentum to come into the market to catapult us up to the $4 range, $5 range and beyond. But it's XRP. Anything is definitely possible with XRP. Let's do our measure movement to the downside. Down to our one movement, which would sweep our low, was about 15% movement to the downside. To the top of our red box of support down here is about, whoops, I lost it. Let me just readjust, get the measuring tool back out from current price. Down to the top of our red box of resistance is about 50% movement to the downside. So you could see there, we had a 50% movement to the upside to get the bulls back fired up, get us moving and starting to break some all-time highs, get some excitement back around XRP. But we also have a 50% movement to the downside that would probably take a lot of people out of XRP, probably would cut their losses at that point. But all eyes are on Bitcoin. The remainder of the eyes are on Ethereum. So really whatever those two tokens do will guide us and will definitely guide XRP. But I could say that it could be Bitcoin and XRP that guide the remainder of the market, because if XRP starts ripping, I'm sure a lot of the high cap altcoins will also rip to the upside. So that's it for XRP. As it's been for the past year and a half, it's been difficult to do analysis on XRP because look at the movement that we get. We get huge volatile movement to the upside. We get a little bit of chop continuing to go to the upside, come back down to the downside, some chop, pump back up before a little choppiness, but now we're trending to the downside and we've started to move in the downward trajectory for now. But again, it's our XRP, it's crypto. Anything is possible. We could come back and see a 300% movement to the upside within a month's time frame for XRP.
So XRP's been going crazy. There's no doubt about that. Slowed down a little bit, but it's still up pretty good right now. So like Crypto Poppy said, XRP could be the next one, the next top mover right after Bitcoin now, because it's just how crazy it went this cycle. So
right.
Hopefully they all follow, not just XRP, right?
True.
Just like any other coin, it has its fans, and they die hard when it comes to XRP, because I still hear about it, even though it hasn't been pumping. People still keep talking about it. They're loyal to that coin. So I do expect it to go back up to, what was it, about $3, right?
Yeah, $3.66.
Yep, it's almost $4. So I do expect it to go back to $4 and maybe hit the fives, and then at the most, I think $10. I think that's the last figure we talked about.
Right.
But anyways, that was that for XRP. The next one that we have in stores, one that has been doing some big movements, that's been changing the market a lot. Oh man, people are excited about this coin right here, and you know what I'm talking about, the privacy coin. So when you're moving your money, nobody knows where you're moving it to.
The one, the only,
the one and only. Not the other ones don't matter no more. It's only this one. It's gonna be Zcash. Those Z's aren't going to make you snooze with this coin. This coin is still looking crazy right now. We're going to be doing live technical analysis on Zcash. I'm going to hand it over to Crypto Poppy.
All right. So we have Zcash paired with the US dollar.
Ooh.
Weekly time frame data is coming in from Coinbase. So, I mean, we're just zoomed out here looking at the coin. just seeing what it's done. It's almost unbelievable. It's awesome. It's great to see. I just wish that the rest of the market was doing things not necessarily to this extent, but, playing a little catch up. A lot of altcoins still need to run, but this isn't about them. This is about Zcash. So again, this is going to be hard to do technical analysis on because just like XRP, we had that huge explosive movement, but this is still bouncing around, has a little chop going on with it. So let's just zoom in and take a look. Take a look at it. So we have a great movement. We came up. Oh no. Hold on. Let me see here. Let me do that. And let me lock it into place. Sorry, you guys. So let's just take a look here, see what we could potentially do. So we've made this nice, beautiful movement to the upside, which is our 3618 movement. All-time high, it looked like we touched $745, just shy of it, before rejecting back down. Where are we going to find support? Who knows? Potentially our trend line that was drawn from years and years and years ago when it was first listed on Coinbase back in 2020, but the first touch point on the trend line is December 21st, 2020. Second touch point is here, January 17th, 2022. Then we just have that extended out, and what do you know? It's coming. It'll potentially be coming into play relatively soon with catching the falling knife, potentially at, catching the falling knife. Oh man, what did I push? Catching the falling knife here at about, oh, that's you.
Oh, is that me?
Yeah. I was like, what keeps going on?
Sorry, my bad, dude.
It's all good. Could potentially catch the falling knife down here. That trend line from all those years ago would bring it to about $209,000, $207,000, $207. But it looks like we're already starting to move back up to the upside. There's more buyers than there are sellers because we reversed and started to come back up to the upside. We dropped down to about $300 before start moving up to the upside. We wicked up to $480 before closing back down, and we're currently in this weekly candle. It's anyone's game. We could continue back up to the upside, which I would expect us to come back up to about the mid $500 range if we are going to come up back to the upside before starting to get more momentum to explode us up to Lord knows $866, and that's the rest of our Fibonacci's. So, I mean, from where we were at about $745 to say that we go into price discovery mode and only go up to about the high $800 range, yeah, I would laugh at that. It's probably going to be chase that $1,000 level and beyond. It could be, realistically, could be the next Ethereum price action wise, not utility wise, but price action wise, could be the next Ethereum. So things look good with Ethereum. We could come down to that trend line of about $200. We could start coming up to the mid $500 to propel us back up to the upside. Look at that. Zcash has put in an amazing movement. I mean, the chart doesn't know justice. Just looking at that, let's just zoom out again and just take a look at that. That's insane, a thing of absolute beauty. So a ton of upside potential, little bit of downside potential again, but I would definitely recommend if you are buying here, definitely lock in some profits, not financial advice. Do the responsible thing, lock in some profits, because if we do start coming back down to the downside, you could just throw those profits right back in and ride that wave potentially right back up to the upside, but with a 25% bigger overall holding of the token. So things look good for Zcash. We need more price action to come in because we just shot right up to the upside. We were rejected down to the downside, still in no man's land, close to the 618, but Zcash needs to show us what it wants to do. Does it want to continue to the rip to the upside, or are we going to start coming down to the downside? And again, To the upside, $550 and above. To the downside, $210 and below. And candle body closures above those two levels will show us and guide us to exactly where Zcash wants to go, to the upside or to the downside.
Okay, guys, that was Zcash. It's looking amazing. If you guys didn't know, we've been talking about Zcash for a while now. I mean,
you were watching your own video.
yeah,
I like it.
because I wanted to pull up just to give you guys some concrete proof that we'll be talking about Zcash for a while now. And if you guys would have been with us in the channel, which, you know, hindsight is 2020, right? Let's see. I think I started. Where was it at? Right here. 1 year ago, Zcash price prediction.
Hey, 791 views isn't bad.
That's what I'm saying. And over here, a year ago again, 130. So look at that. We've been talking about it for a while now. Then where else? So you guys, just to, you know, make a point to you guys. If you guys are listening to us, you guys are gonna get some good information. Look at this. 10 months ago.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what else. I know I had one over here too. Right here, 4 months ago.
True.
Oh baby, and this 1 month ago. So you see, we have good information here, guys. So close friends that we have of ours, they listen, they made some good profits. We gave them financial advice, not you guys. So yeah, that was pretty much it. They made some good money, and we're hoping to find the next one, the next Zcash now, because that's the one that's been ripping through the market right now. But that was great, insane. Let's pull up Dash. It's not.
Oh, good one. Yeah,
it's not
good
looking.
one.
It's not. It's doing good. Doing pretty good, but it could be doing as good as Zcash as well. So let me just hold up, and you got that on the charts.
Yep, I'm just zooming out.
Before we move on, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're at 757 YouTube subscribers. We're trying to get to 1,000. It doesn't cost that thing. It's free. Please subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you get notified when we're doing live streams, when I post videos, all that good stuff. Like this video, like any other of my videos, leave a comment down below. If you have any questions, crypto questions in general, or if you want us to analyze your favorite crypto, drop it in the comment section. Send us a chat. As you can see the banner right there. You can reach out to me on those social medias if you guys want as well. You know, there's a lot of ways to reach us. We could answer your questions because hopefully the channel takes off and it's going to be harder to reach us. But in the meantime, it's easy. So reach out to us. And that's all I got to say about that. Anyways, the next one on the list is going to be Dash. Crypto Pop is going to be doing some light technical analysis on Dash. And I'm going to hand it over to him.
All right, so we have Dash paired with the US dollar, weekly time frame. Data's coming in from Coinbase. So I just zoomed us out to take a look. So Dash is similar to what we expect from Zcash. So we've already made a beautiful movement with Dash, but we definitely have a lot of legs left to go, a lot of fuel left for the fire, a lot of fuel left for the spaceship to take us to the moon, to Mars. Forget the moon. Let's go to Mars. So let's zoom in and take a look, see what Zcash has been up to since the last time we did technical analysis on it. We have our trend line here, which is from November 7th, 2022. Second touch point is here, May 8th, 2023, and we have it just extended out. So let's do that. Let's go into the settings and extend it to the right. Where are we at? Just a second. All right. Oh, well, we have it extended out here. Let's unlock it real quick. Boom. And extend it out ever so slightly. All right. So you could see here we have our trend line, which we've already broken through once. We were rejected down to the downside. Then we came to our zero movement of our Fibonacci. We went sideways for quite some time, and then all of a sudden something happened with Dash. Who knows what happened there, and we started moving to the upside. And let's just zoom in real quick, because just like we talked about with AMP, how we need to just make that little that movement. But let's see what it is with Dash. From the bottom here, to the top. Oh man, that was a 62% movement to the upside. So this is what AMP needs to do. We need to make that 50, 60% jump, get above the Fibonacci level before we start making some nice highs, making a nice run to the upside. And you could see here, that was a 60% movement, and we didn't cool down from there. We got nice and hot, explosive movement to the upside before coming back down to make our, not all-time high, but our most previous high of, what did Dash go up to? It's about $150 on the dot before rejecting down to the downside. And you could see here, we blew past every Fibonacci level. We did, get a slight rejection at the 786. We did find some resistance that's a 618. And as we come down, we're bouncing between those fib levels as well. But I would say everything is still ready to go. Everything is good to go. There's still a lot of excitement around Dash and everything that they're doing, building, because they have a payments platform too that's powered by Flexa, just like Zcash does. Close affiliated with Flexa. They're lovers and supporters of Flexa, so we love and support them as well. But you could see here, we do need to start moving back up to the upside because, again, we're in no man's land between the 618 and the 236 fib level. To get back above the 618 fib level is about 40% movement to the upside. To touch our trend line is 87% movement to the upside. And to start breaking some previous all-time highs, our closest all-time highs, Dash needs to move about 110% movement to the upside. So just like most of the tokens, a lot of upside movement to the upside, a lot of upside potential. Minimal downside potential, just aesthetically looking at the charts. But again, that is big percentage movements to the downside from current price to the 236 level is about 13% movement. Down to the top of some of these candle bodies here, 32% movement. Down to the bottom of some of these candle bodies here, 48% movement to the downside, and to our zero movement would be about 52% movement to the downside. So a ton of some rough downside movements, but we do have a lot of upside potential. And if and when we start breaking this previous high of $150, you could see here we have $230, $267. And I mean, the party doesn't stop there. This could definitely start running towards and above $500. So Dash has a ton of upside potential. You could see that money flows into Dash beautifully, but just as quick as it flows into it, smart investors out there are taking their profits. They're taking their profits and getting out of the token to potentially buy back down here. Because if you sold 50% of your overall holdings at the top, you're able to buy an extra 73%. If you take your profit and you buy back down here, you have your sell limits up here and your buy limits back down here. And that's the name of the game, yin and yang. Take some profits, then put them right back in. As long as your life doesn't depend on those profits, then you have to live off of them. If you don't have to live off of them, start, grow your holdings. It's not about accumulating the US dollar. It's about accumulating Dash, about accumulating more AMP, about accumulating more Bitcoin. Accumulate your overall token holdings. And that's how you do it, is take your profit towards the top, reinvest it down towards the bottom. And it doesn't have to be 100% of your holdings. Do it with 25% of your holdings. Do it with 50% of your holdings. Not financial advice, but it's not rocket science out here. This is what we do on a regular basis. And that was Dash for you, paired with the US dollar.
That was Dash, guys. Is dashing his way up right now.
True.
And also, just like Zcash, we've been talking about Dash for a year now. There's videos on my channel from Dash from a year ago. What else?
Tell them, JJ. Tell them.
Yeah, we gotta tell them, because if I don't tell you guys, then you guys won't know. 10 months ago. So you guys been warned. You guys been told about Dash. So that's another one that potentially could do 4 months ago. do what Zcash is doing. And I mean, you guys, you see how good it is when Zcash is going up.
Oh, yeah.
So don't miss out on that one. Not financial advice. But if you guys want to reach out to me, and then I'll relay the message to Crypto Poppy. Hey, if you have any questions about crypto, hit us up. We're still here. We got time for you guys. Don't be afraid to reach out. But anyways, that was that for Dash. The next one we have on our list. Yeah, we are action packed today, guys. Oh, another good one. Another good setup. Compound, comps, OMP. Another good setup for the market right now. Let's see. Let me have Crypto Poppy pull it up. You got it up there?
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. All right. So the next one that we have right now in store for you guys is going to be Compound, COMP. I'm going to hand it over to Crypto Poppy.
All right. So we have Compound paired with the US dollar. We're on the weekly time frame. Data's coming in from Coinbase. So just look at this. It's similar, not exactly identical, but similar to AMP. We have a nice listing, nice pump, little dump to retrace that movement before pumping back up to the upside, creating some all-time highs, at least when it comes to the Coinbase chart. I don't know if Compound went higher elsewhere previously to being listed on Coinbase, but made a nice all-time high, rejected back down, retraced slightly before just getting absolutely demolished for months and months and probably a little over a year before going years just moving sideways, trending to the upside, but overall years and years of consolidation and moving to the moving sideways, slightly moving to the upside. You could see our trend line here, which first touch point is November 2nd, 2020. Second touch point is right here, over one more, February 21st, 2022, and that trend line is just extended out. Let's adjust our charts for most recent price action. So you could see here, we moved sideways, trended to the upside. We were creating higher highs, a little bit of lower lows, even though we just created a lower low compared to our previous low. But our highs have progressively gotten higher. We've flirted with our horizontal ray at $92, flirted with it at $126. We only broke above our trend line from all those years ago one time before getting rejected right back down, coming up to touch it again before continuing back down to the downside, completely obliterating those gains, right? Coming back down. Now we're even approaching crazier lows, which again, we can't even go back far enough in time to say where we could potentially land. We're moving to the downside. We're at $27.18 currently. Not too much more downside for Compound just because we don't have the data for it. So we're about to make some all-time lows on Compound, at least when it comes to the Coinbase chart. So I would say, and again, not financial advice, and this is just my opinion, but when a token, an investment, something is at its all-time lows at $27 when its previous all-time high was slightly over $900, and it's a decent, well-rounded, all-around cryptocurrency with a limit to its max. It's a limit to its supply. It's not an indefinite supply. It's extremely similar to Litecoin. So that just tells me that that's potentially a buying opportunity. We're at all-time lows. Why not ride that up to at least our horizontal ray, to our red box of resistance, which from current price to our first horizontal ray at $92 is 230% movement to the upside. Next level is at $126 is 350% movement to the upside. Our red box of resistance is 500% movement to the upside. So you could see that Compound has a lot of upside potential with very minimal downside potential because we're already at all-time lows for Compound paired with the Coinbase chart. And it's too similar to Zcash. It's too similar to Litecoin and Dash to say that it's not going to start to move and pump and make these all-time highs and get back to its previous all-time highs of about $900. But again, if you're buying in at $27, I wouldn't be holding on to 100% of my compound tokens, hoping that it goes up to $900. Man, I would take 10% off at 92, another 10% off at 126, maybe 5% off at 170. And then, hey, let's see where we could go. I'm out 25% of my overall holdings. If we start to retrace and come back down to these lows and start making new all-time lows, hey, I'll just throw some sell limits in there, back in there. You know what I mean? I'm improving, I'm increasing my overall holdings of the token opposed to increasing my overall holdings of USD, which, you know, just goes down and down. Realistically, you could say daily USD goes down with inflation. But again, that's compound. We're at all-time lows, not too much analysis we could do with compound. Just say these are not financial advice, but amazing buying opportunities when a well-rounded overall token is at its all-time lows. Great buying opportunity. If you do this, don't forget to take profit, not financial advice.
Yes, those magical words. Take profit, right?
Oh yeah.
And if you guys been watching this channel, we are very for taking profit. Don't get married to your crypto investments because they come and go. They come and go. So if you see a good chance to take profit, do it. Don't hesitate. Take profit. Let's see if my screen is working again. Beautiful.
Awesome.
All right, so we've been talking about compound, and again, a year ago, right? We have one right here, a year ago. Like we said before, we talked about compound before. So
oh yeah,
it's on the record. We just got to show you the receipts, guys. All right,
true,
guys. The next one, another one that's gonna might be a really good investment.
And this on compound will be a future receipt.
Ooh, that's
we're
true.
The analysis we're doing on it right now.
Yes, exactly. Just like Zcash and the other coins that we talked about before. So the next one I have in store for you guys is going to be SwftCoin. This wasn't a crypto poppy call, but somebody requested it a while back. We looked at it. It went crazy. It surpassed our expectations when we did a live technical analysis on the video. But, I mean, it did great. So hopefully it falls into that category of the coins that we've been touching on today. So hopefully this one is going to do the same thing. I'm going to hand it over to Crypto Poppy. We're going to be doing live technical analysis on SwftCoin, SWFT coin. Here you go, Crypto Poppy. Go for it.
All right. So again, this is a hard one to do analysis on, but we have SwftCoin paired with the US dollar, weekly time frame. Data's coming in from Coinbase. It was listed on Coinbase back in July 18th, 2022. So it's been on there for a few years now. You could see here, I mean, it had a beautiful movement, right? Get our measuring tool out here. From its lows, overall lows here to a nice high there. 1,654% movement to the upside, which is absolutely a thing of beauty. And since then, you could see after we made that high, we definitely retraced a majority of those gains, made a nice bounce up to the upside. Let me adjust the charts and get in here, see where our trend line and everything is. So you could see here, we retraced down. We tried to make a bounce up to the upside, but that wasn't happening. And then we've slowly been grinding and going to the downside consistently. So we're trending to the downside, definitely. So to the downside, again, this is a rough one to do analysis on because I'll show you right now. From current price to our trend line to the downside is 78% movement to the downside, and that almost puts us in the negatives, right? That just wouldn't occur. That wouldn't happen. So I'm looking over here at these candle bodies. So about a 33% movement to the downside from previous breakout, from our lows from the previous breakout. So we're 33% away from retracing 100% of those gains over the past year. So that's a bit rough to say. But from current price up to our blue horizontal ray, which is lining up with all of this price action here, which is a level of, not necessarily a level of concern, but it's just a level of when we get there, we could potentially face some resistance. So that's 62% movement to the upside. Our white horizontal ray is 181% movement to the upside. And after that, we really can't do too much measuring because we're just going to go instantly to our previous all-time highs, which is about 1,500%. What was it? 1,600% from the lows here. So it's about 1,400% away from its all-time highs. So this, again, once some money flows into it, once a little bit of excitement comes back into the market, I fully expect this to eat up that 60, 70% movement to the upside, get into that multiple 100% movements to the upside, and start really getting into the 1,000% movements to the upside. We have our trend line here, which is over top here. Let me see. Let me extend it to the right. Title coordinates, no. Visibility, extend to the right, no. All right, I'll just extend it myself. I'm just watching that second touch point there, lock it into place. So we just really need to break above this trend line. And once we break above that, expect money to flow in. That's a buy indicator. Once we break above the trend line, potentially close above it, get a candle body to retest it and close on it before breaking to the upside. Not much we could do on Swift token because when it moves, it moves. Decent buying opportunity because we're about 33% movement to the downside before going into the negative. So we're relatively close to the downside with thousands of percentages of movement to the upside. So low risk, high reward setup, not financial advice. SwftCoin looks good.
Anyways, guys, that was that for SwftCoin, SWFTC coin. It's not a bad play. We're trying to bring you good plays. We're here for the long term. We don't do day trading here, but I know Crypto Papa could do it, but he doesn't want that stress on his head anymore. He's done the work. Tell him what you've been doing before, what you've done in the past when it comes to trading.
When it comes to day trading for me now, that was definitely something that I did when I was overly confident on my technical analysis. So we're in beautiful California, so we have the crazy capital gains taxes. If I was to day trade, just the amount in taxes that I would pay, it doesn't make it worth it for me. I would rather do long-term holds, long-term swing trades, hold on to these tokens for at least a year, because then we go from 32% taxes to 16% capital gains taxes, which is a thing of beauty. And I ball out with that 16% that I saved in taxes. But when I was doing day trading and scalp trading, my long-term investments were fueling that. A portion of my long-term investment profit would fuel that. So it would go, my scalp trades would fuel my day trades. My day trades would fuel my swing trades. My swing trades would fuel my long-term investments, and then vice versa, which was where it started. My long-term investments would fuel my swing trades. My swing trade profits would fuel my day trade profits. My day trade profits would fuel my scalp trade profits. And it was just a yin and yang like that. And before, back in the day, I could play the Bitcoin against altcoins, altcoins against Bitcoins. Bitcoin would pump, altcoins would dump. Money would flow from Bitcoin into altcoins. Then altcoins would pump, Bitcoin would dump because of that flow. Then, you would take your profit, and you could only take your profit from your altcoins into your Bitcoin. So, I come from back in the day when trading was different. Also, when stock market would be up, crypto would be down. When crypto was up, stocks would be down. When gold was up, stocks would be down. So when gold was down, stocks would be up, vice versa. So, a lot of expertise when it comes to that, but just a lot of it is unnecessary with the markets nowadays, because it seems like a lot of these markets are just correlated. When Bitcoin moves, the stock market's moving. When gold is moving, Bitcoin's moving. These things, you can't really play these too much off of each other anymore.
So the market has changed a lot. Crypto Papa's been through it. That's how he's made a lot of his money, playing the market, flowing his money from doing one certain type of trading to another type of trading. And he also trades minerals. What do you call
Precious
them?
metals.
Precious metals, not minerals. Well, I guess, is it a mineral? It's not a mineral.
No.
Anyway, precious metals. He, same thing, just like crypto, right? He buys gold as cheap as possible, sells it at high as possible. Silver, palladium, what else are you in?
Platinum.
Platinum.
Yeah, so it was the whole thing. Gold would be up, taking profit out of my physical gold to buy physical platinum because platinum didn't make its move. Palladium hasn't made its move. Gold and silver have made their move, which platinum and palladium have been playing catch up and have made a beautiful movement. But it's just like that, yin and yang with everything. Just let your money flow, have your money, take your profits, and have your money work as hard as you can. Put it into something that hasn't yet to make its move.
Beautiful words from Crypto Poppy, an expert when it comes to investments. I've known this guy for a really long time. He's made nothing but good investments. That's why he's unemployed now.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Exactly.
You want to tell him about your little story real quick?
Yeah, no, it's just an unemployment thing we joke about now because I have my CCW for California and it lists your occupation on your card. And so now I have a card that reminds me and tells me, and I show people that I'm unemployed. There's California calling me out, telling me I'm a bum.
Exactly. Even though he pays more taxes than people that work.
True. True.
It's crazy. But anyways, guys, that was that for today's episode. Before we log off, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're currently at 757 YouTube subscribers. We're trying to get to 1,000. It does not cost a thing to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified when we're doing a live stream. I post a video, all that good stuff. Also, leave a like on this video, like all the other videos, like all the videos. Leave comments on them, questions, ask us questions. We're still reachable, guys. We're still there. We're still working our way up. Thank you guys for watching. You guys have been great. We appreciate the support. We'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, the next one is going to be NCT. We've been giving this sauce for a while on NCT. It's the one that we looked at it plenty of times too as well. And that already has had a run.
Oh, it has.
A run, come down. So hopefully it has another run because it's not done till it's done, guys. All right, so we're going to be doing live technical analysis on NCT. Let me hand it over to Crypto Poppy.
All right, so this is one JJ's got his receipts for. We have Polyswarm paired with the US dollar. Weekly time frame data's coming in from Coinbase. So you could see here when it was listed on Coinbase, it just absolutely tanked, came back down all the way down to the downside. It was listed January 10th, 2022. So we love this coin because it's pump happy. It takes very small volume for huge pumps to the upside, which is a thing of beauty. So, I mean, we could get right into it. Just looking at it again, it's hard to do analysis on. We do have the Fibonacci from our previous swing high, not our most recent swing high. Our swing high is here, March 11th, 2024. Swing low is right here, August 5th, 2024. And we have it extended out. You could see we just textbook. We played around. We came down to our zero movement, little resistance of the 236 before finally breaking through it, broke above it, retested it as support before breaking above it, so on and so forth. Our 618, our 786, our one movement, breaking a nice high, moving above our one movement of our 618. We went all the way up to about 11 cents before crashing back down all the way to the downside. Found some support at our 236 level, broke above it, broke below it, broke above it, sat on it, broke above it before coming back down to the downside. So this is definitely one where we could say, hey, we were buying the lows, taking some profit on the movements to the upside, buying in on the lows here on the retracement to the downside, and then plugging in our, hey, you think it could go to our red box at 6 cents? Let's put some sells there. Top of it, say 7 cents. Our one movement at about 8 cents. And let's go crazy. Let's look over here. Let's see these levels. Let's look at this wick here from January 17th, 2022. See where we could potentially get some sells going there. And that's exactly what happened. And JJ took advantage of it, not financial advice, took advantage of it and put those profits into other tokens like Anvil, our favorite token. I'll say ours. I'm dragging you into it with me. Our favorite token. So it's all about not necessarily accumulating token when you are taking profit to reinvest into that same token and look for another movement to the upside. Sometimes hey, our attention is elsewhere. Let's take the profits, that 25 or 50%, or in some cases 100% profit, and put it into a different token, a different project, a different setup that has that is that. When this was doing this, we had Dash at its close to its all-time lows. Not really, but at its low movement, at its one movement, at its zero movement of the Fibonacci before it put in that nice 400 or 500% movement to the downside. So you can't just get caught hanging on to bags because you love them. You need to have your money working as hard as it can at all times for you. If this made that nice, beautiful movement from these lows here to the low, almost 1,000% movement to the upside, you need to capitalize on that and take that profit and put it elsewhere to where you have other 1,000+% movement setups, and which we covered that in the previous tokens we covered in this live. So that's it for NCT. We're at its lows. We could expect a movement to the 236, movement up to the 618, but it's just like the other tokens we're covering. We're close to its all-time lows on the chart. We're within about 30 to 60% movement to its all-time lows, but we have 1,000% movement to the upside on the table. So you tell me what the best thing to do is in a situation like this. So that's it for NCT. Let's see what JJ's got for our last token to cover.
All right, guys. That was great. That was NCT. We'll be talking about NCT 1 year ago, 11 months ago, 11 months ago, another one. Where else?
Oh, go down. There's an algo one you posted.
Yeah,
right there in the middle.
Oh, yeah. So we've been talking 10 months ago. So we've been talking about this coins, guys. So ain't no secret here, guys. Okay.
True.
It's a secret. It's not a secret until you guys find it, right? So where else? I know I had some more. Another one over here. Yep. 4 months ago. So
yeah.
We're at it. We're at it. Whenever we talk about these coins, we constantly talk about them. We're not going to chill poop coins at all. We don't like poop coins. We don't mind them. That's up to you guys. But anyways, that was that for NCT. Good information there. The next one we have in store for you guys is going to be Ethereum. The top two right there. Let's see how it's doing right now.
All right. So let's start it off. We have Ethereum paired with the US dollar. Weekly time frame data is, of course, coming in from Coinbase. So let's just zoom out because I haven't looked at Ethereum since last time I was on with you guys. Just getting a little overall, looking back here from back in the day, looking at that consolidation, that nice, beautiful run up to the upside, that rejection, that breaking the previous all-time highs, creating new all-time highs, coming back down, getting psyched out, and just dumping from there before we start to run up and make a nice run to the upside, a little double top there, come back down, got another top there, which broke the previous high just ever so slightly before coming back down, retracing all of those gains, months, almost a year of gains just completely retraced in the matter of about 2 months, 3 months right here, coming back up to the upside, going crazy, breaking the previous highs before we come back down and start, looks like we're coming back up to the upside. So now let's zoom in. Let's look at a little bit more relevant price action. Make it a little bit smaller. You could see our Fibonacci from swing low to swing high. You could see here we bounced on the 236. We came back up. We came up to the 618, retested it as support, broke above the 786 before crashing back down, making a nice movement to the upside, finding slight support for a few weeks on the 786. Came back down to the 618, tried to make that movement back up to the upside. We were rejected. And again, similar to Bitcoin being in no man's land, but Bitcoin is closer to the 618 than it is the 236. Ethereum came closer to the 236 than Bitcoin did. So you could see here, we're trying to make that movement back up to the upside here with Ethereum. Things look decent for Ethereum. This seems like a nice, healthy pullback to the downside from sweeping these three previous highs from late 2024, mid 2024 and early 2024. So we came up, broke those highs. We came back down to our red box of support/resistance, which lately has been acting as support. We didn't quite get pulled to it. So I might expect Ethereum to pull down a little bit further to retest this red box of support, which is currently at about $2,500, $2,522 to the top side. The bottom of the box is $2,446. So I would expect Ethereum to pull down a little bit to those levels, retest this box as support before bouncing off of it and continuing to the upside. And when we do start moving to the upside, our blue horizontal ray right here at $3,868.76, which just correlates a lot with, this movement here. We have two candle bodies here, 3 wicks here. We have 2 candle bodies and a wick there. We have 2 candle bodies, 1 wick through here, candle body through it. So there's a lot of price action there. So if we do come down, I should say if we do come down to these levels and then we make a nice bounce up to the upside, just like these levels here, just like we did back here with Ethereum, if we make that movement up to the upside, I would have my eyes glued on this horizontal ray level, because if we get a candle body to close above the blue horizontal ray, then it's all smooth sailing, nothing but upside from there. We could go look at our Fibonacci. We could look at our trend line from years ago, from 2022, of where Ethereum's potentially going to go. And that's the $7,000 to about $8,000 price range. And we could even go further to the 2618 movement at about $10,000, which I would say that's going to happen. That's a destiny for Ethereum. That's going to happen at some point. But is it going to happen, in early 2026 or later than that? That question we don't know. That's a question we don't have the answer to. So you could see here with Ethereum, we could get out our measuring tool here from current price action to the top of the red box is about 13.5% movement to the downside. Bottom of the red box would be 17% movement to the downside. Then down to our Fibonacci, the 236 level would be about 24% movement to the downside. But from current price action to the 618, we have 21 and 22% movement to the upside. To our blue horizontal ray of resistance, we have 30% movement. To the 786 level, we have 41% movement. And then from there, we don't need to do too much. I just need to adjust the charts ever so slightly, get that measuring tool back out. From current price up to the one movement of the 618, 139% movement to the upside. To the trend line back from 2022 is about 168% movement to the upside. So just like Bitcoin, a ton of upside potential. Things look great. We should be continuing to the movement to the upside because this is a higher low than these previous lows. We haven't completely retraced all of this movement from our swing low of the Fibonacci. So I would say things are still bullish. We should continue to the move to the upside. Again, as long as Bitcoin gives us that guidance to the upside.
That was that for Ethereum. As you can see, there's been higher lows being built on the charts, which is definitely a good sign for all crypto. Like we said before, Bitcoin, then Ethereum, and then the altcoins follow. So as long as we keep that trajectory up, I think we're good. Like I said, I think this administration right now that we have in the government is very pro-crypto. A lot of tech people are involved in this administration. So we've been through a lot of stuff. If you guys don't remember, FTX collapse, a lot of other crypto brokers, lenders, a lot of companies that were involved with crypto collapse. And we're still here. And we've been lower than this prices at the moment, right? But before I move on, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're currently at 757 YouTube subscribers. Hit that notification bell so you know when we do go live or when I post a video. Like, comment, and share this video with anybody that's interested in crypto. Welcome back to another episode a buddy from crypto. Today's episode, guess who's back? Guess who's back after a long gone vacation.
Oh, yeah.
You got Crypto Poppy back in the building. We're about to do some technical analysis today. But before we move on and keep going, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're at 757 subscribers at the moment.
Whoop, whoop.
We're very, very close to getting to 1,000, so please help us out. It doesn't cost a thing. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you get notified when we go live or post a video. And after the stream, there's going to be a lot of videos going up from the stream, so make sure you keep track of that. That was pretty much it for the intro. Not much to say other than what we're going to be covering today. So the first point I'm going to get started on is going to be Bitcoin. Yeah, the big dawn of all the crypto. So whatever crypto goes, there's going to be, Bitcoin goes, that's kind of where the market is going to take us. So let me hand it over to Poppy. We're going to do a light technical analysis on Bitcoin.
All right. So we're starting with Bitcoin paired with the US dollar. We're on the weekly time frame. Data's coming in from Coinbase. So you could see here, it's been a while since we've done technical analysis, and on Bitcoin in general. So last time we did technical analysis here on the weekly time frame, you could see we put a trend line from June 16th, 2025, which was the first touch point. Second touch point was October 13th, 2025, and we extended that out to the right. And you could see here we melted through that trend line. We broke through it on November 3rd, 2025. We were able to wick back up and close the candle body on the trend line. But the following week, which was November 10th, 2025, we tried to make that run back up just ever so slightly before crashing all the way back down to the downside. So, we're in the middle of no man's land a little bit with Bitcoin. We could either come down to the 236 movement of about $67,000, or we could continue to the upside, get back above our Fibonacci level at 96,000, basically 97,000, get back above our trend line, which would put us a little over $110,000 and continue that momentum to the upside. Or we could come crashing back down. We'll come down to the 236. We could potentially come down here to about $61,000 to $60,000 range, which lines up pretty good with these levels here to our left from early 2024, March 24 to about September 2024, which is also lining up again that trend line to the downside. We could zoom in and look here. We drew this a long time ago. First touch point is here on the green wick to the downside. July, I can't get it right on it, July 19th, 2021. Second touch point is here, January 24th, 2022. And then as you can see, we just extended that out. And all these years later, it could potentially come into play, right? If we come down and retest this trend line before bouncing off of it, continuing to the upside, or are we going to come bounce on the trend line, crash down to about $51,000, retest it as resistance before coming down to the downside? But who's to say where Bitcoin's going to go? But I would still say the bias would still be bullish because we're continuing to the upside. We're creating a high, we're creating a lower high than the lows here. And currently over the past few weeks, we've created a higher low than our previous lows. So look like we're trending in the right direction. Speaking of trending, let's get our trend line. Let's do first touch point here, April 7th. Second touch point right here, looks like November 10th, 2025. And we just have it extended out to the right. Looks like we could possibly get stuck in this channel here. But if we do get stuck in this channel, what's it doing to us? It's trending us to the upside. So again, another bullish bias. Let's lock this into place since we just drew this now, and it looks relatively decent. We have the two touch points. Let's see if it's going to guide us to the upside, or are we already going to start getting pulled back to our previous trend line. So, this is a simple one for Bitcoin. We went over our downside movements. We could possibly come back down here quickly to the $80,000 range. If that doesn't hold up, Look to our Fibonacci, the 236 level at about $66,000 to $67,000. And if that doesn't hold up, that's a different stream because we're going down to the downside, 50,000, possibly 45,000, all the way down to our pre-breakout points here in early 2024 of about $40,000 range. Then for the upside, just like before, so we have to break our previous all-time high, about $127,000. Then from there, we would go into price discovery mode to our about $175,000, $252,000. So these Fibonacci levels overhead haven't changed. We're still in the overall Fibonacci. We haven't messed with that, but we've started to come down to the downside. So let's hope we continue this momentum to the upside. Let's get a nice bounce off of this trend line. Let's break that 618 fib level and start moving to the upside. Before we go too much further, let's get our measuring tool from current price to the bottom of the trend line. Closest trend line would be about a 6.5% to the downside. To the trend line, let's do 236 because that's closer, is about 24% to the downside. Then to our trend line would be about 26% to the downside. But then from current price to the upside to our first spot would be the 618, would be about 11%. Next spot to our trend line, the 786 fib level would be about 25% to the upside. To start breaking previous all-time highs is about 45%. Then our first movement of price discovery mode where we could potentially go to the 618 overhead, about $175,000 is about 100% movement to the upside. So Bitcoin looks great. We have to continue to start moving back up to the upsides. Let's sweep these lows and start moving to the upside. So that's it for Bitcoin. Everything looks good. If Bitcoin keeps trending upwards, I expect everything to follow.
So you guys heard it here first, guys. Bitcoin's still looking good. It's not the end of the world, guys. I mean, I don't know if you guys been keeping up with the crypto news. Even though charts are down, there's a lot of news that have been coming out lately. A lot of more banks are accepting Bitcoin as payment. They're bringing down interest rates. They're injecting money into the economy. So when there's a lot of funny money in the economy, what do you think the big players do? They put that all into investments. It's going to be crypto, real estate, stock market, you name it. Now the crypto market is intertwined with the stock market, that all that money just flows in and out, both of them, especially now with all the tech stocks that you have, NVIDIA and all those AI companies. They're all very attached to crypto. And a lot of those people that invest in those in AI and those computer chip companies, they're all in crypto as well, because they know that's going to be the future. Like Elon Musk says, what gives value to these coins now that they run on energy now. And that's what the world's going to keep running on, especially with all the computing power that computers use now, the AI and crypto. That's going to be the newer currency now. But anyways, guys, that was that for Bitcoin.